Welcome to this episode of The Mobile Cyclist, the show that brings you the best of bicycling's people, places, and things. I'm your host, Anthony Barr. I'm at the Indy Cycloplex, home of the Major Taylor Velodrome. I'm here to learn the basics of track cycling and take my first laps on a fixed-gear, single-speed bike. I'll give you a beginner's perspective into this fantastic corner of the cycling world. This velodrome is named after the legendary cyclist, Marshall Major Taylor. What brought this track, or what was the purpose of building this track here in Indianapolis to begin with?
So the track was built in 1982, and it was built as part of the United States Olympic Committee's Olympic Festival. We've had up to 3 velodromes here during the history, and we've had bike races here ever since 1900. So it was very important to bring a facility like the Major Taylor Velodrome to this city and help continue to grow cycling and offer a facility to the community to use and to race and to be able to ride.
Marian University manages and operates the Cycloplex, and their staff is first class. They provide an extensive education on the sport to ensure students of all ages enjoy their first experience and are eager to come back for more. The Marian University Knights call this their home track, and they make very good use of it.
Marian cycling is a real phenomenon. They were the first varsity cycling team in the United States, and they now have over 30 team national championships. It's a program that consistently does well. Just this past year, several riders graduated into the professional ranks, both here in the United States as well as in Europe.
Before us eager beginners can even think of winning a championship of our own, we need to attend Track 101, where track instructor Nate Schickel educates us on some history, techniques, bike and equipment basics of track riding and racing. What is the importance of going through the Track 101 experience for a new rider?
The track is a different place. It doesn't work like the road, the bikes don't work like the road, and there are a few more rules. So it's really good to learn those rules in a 101 in an easy educational setting.
When I first walked out here, I looked at the banking. It can be a little intimidating. What do you try to get cyclists to understand that are new, that are coming out here, that might be on the fence?
Our track is a very easy track to ride. So there is no minimum speed limit. You are not going to slide off. As long as you keep pedaling, you're going to be fine.
After class, we learned the layout of the track and basic etiquette of how to navigate all those different lane colors on the course. Track instructor Ken Hart. Among many accomplishments, Ken is a former cycling national champion, Olympic trials medalist, and nationally ranked cycling official. The man knows this sport.
What do all these fancy colors mean on the track, the different types of stripes?
This one has a nice French name. It's called the Côte d'Azur, which means blue band, and it's out of bounds. The black line, most people would call it the pole line, but it's not really the pole line, it's the survey line. That's where they certify the 333 meters.
So this is the official, the black line is where all the records need to be measured.
Right, they're measured from there. Okay. The next line up the track, the red line, is called the sprinter's line. So when we're racing at speed, everyone's expected to hold a straight line. Part of the way we tell it is by looking at that red line to see whether or not people are drifting. The next line up is the blue line. It's called the stayer's line. We use it, as do most tracks in North America, to divide the I'm working part of the track from the I'm resting part of the track. We call that the chat line.
Okay, now I know where to ride. How about what I'm about to ride? Track bikes have some very specific differences from traditional road bikes.
If anybody that's never been on a track bike, what are the main differences that jump out at you?
If you notice, there are no derailleurs, there's no front derailleur, there's no back derailleur, and you have a direct drive chain and there's no coaster. So if I pedal forwards, the wheel goes forwards. If I pedal backwards, the wheel goes backwards. So if I want to stop the bike, I have to stop the pedals. Since there are no handbrakes on it, I have to stop my feet to stop the bike.
Seems simple enough, but it still feels a little unnatural when you first hop on a fixed gear or fixie. Here's the basic process.
Clip in. Okay. So now I'm going to have you pick up the back of the bike and move it to 2 o'clock.
Okay, move that foot up a little bit then.
Right, so we get more stomp from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock than we get from 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock.
Gotcha.
So that's why we always start our stomp at 2 o'clock and not at 3 o'clock.
Okay.
So the next thing I'm going to do is you're going to push off like you would on your normal road bike.
Okay.
Obviously, you're going to push with this right foot, and I want you to immediately sit in the saddle.
All right. I'm gonna push off.
So I want you to be sitting in the saddle before that pedal gets to 6 o'clock.
All right.
Get up right away.
Ready? And then
Yes.
clip in.
And now you clip in with the other foot.
And just keep it rolling.
Yep.
Okay, now, how do I stop? Think of your feet as the hands of a clock. Really?
Normally I'm pushing on the pedals at 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock and 4 o'clock. With the fixed gear and the clipless pedal system, you can actually push on the pedals at 9 o'clock. And if you push on the pedals at 9 o'clock instead of 3 o'clock, the bike slows down.
After learning how to crawl, we graduated to walking, or rather riding, with balance and handling skills. Unlike road cycling hand gestures, velodrome riders use voice commands, such as stick, hold your line, or rail, clear the high bank, I'm coming through. I came back for a second day to learn Paceline work with Ken's wife, Cindy Hart. We began to rev up the speed. Finally, the fun stuff begins. One of the coolest elements of the velodrome is learning to use the banking to your advantage, a common racing technique. It's a rush. Cindy Hart.
Using gravity, anytime you go up the banking, you slow down and lose momentum. Going down the track, you gain momentum and go faster. And so there are several strategies that you can use when you're doing a drill called squaring the track, where you go very tall and then you dive down the banking. It's like a roller coaster.
Among many other accomplishments, Cindy is a multi-world medalist and national champion cyclist and speed skater, U.S. Olympic Volunteer Coach of the Year, and cancer support advocate through her Spokes of Hope organization. She explains Paceline Basics, another common training and racing technique.
In pace lines, when the front person goes up the track, they're slowing down as the rest of the group goes underneath them, and then they just turn and then come right back down onto the end, and they don't miss a beat.
You didn't crash yet. That's a positive. It's positive.
But this place is more than just a racetrack.
So Cindy, the Cycloplex, Major Taylor, this isn't just for racers, is it?
No, not at all. It's a wonderful place for families to come. There are no dogs, no potholes, no traffic lights. Mom and dad can be here with their kids and they can all ride and nobody gets lost and nobody gets left behind. We have Special Olympians who come and they don't ride on the banking, but they ride on the apron. And then we have people who just want to ride. They may not feel comfortable with city traffic. If somebody gets tired, they just sit out a couple of laps and they can rest.
After graduating from 101 and getting in a few hours of observed riding by an instructor, riders who are ready for more can begin competing in their first official track race and get their fix.
So hey, this has been really fun. It's been a really unique experience for me. First time I've ever done any track cycling before. I really appreciate you spending time and giving us some tips and a little bit of knowledge about the track and how it works.
We love it here.
Thanks. Hopefully I'll see you back out on the track sometime again.
Thanks. Love to see you.
Thanks, Cindy.
No, you don't need to have your own track bike. Just come on out and give it a go.
If you don't necessarily want to buy a track bike, but you want to be able to ride the track, take 101. You'll take it on a track bike, so you'll have that experience. So we have a large rental fleet of bikes that are able to be used by anybody in the community. Daily rental is $10. With the 101 class, you get your bike rental for free. As long as we have people out here riding, that's great.
Hey, this has been a lot of fun. I appreciate it this morning.
Thank you, Anthony.
Take us under your wing and get us out here.
No problem.
I think I had a good time. I didn't wreck. Don't plan on it. And I say come out to the velodrome, come out to the Cycloplex. This is really cool.